to be honest, I'm way stronger than I actually really need to be. How strong is strong enough? This is what this video is about, is strength standards. These are the standards that I believe that the average guy, maybe my age, I'm about 44, should be able to achieve. Now, obviously, I'm a little bit stronger than average, but wind the clock back. Maybe you're in your mid-30s, maybe you're approaching your 40s. These are the standards that I would say that the average Joe, and sorry, average Jane, this is aimed at the guys. If you want to see a video about strength standards for average Jane, let me know in the comments and I will do one in future. And this is just about strength as well. It's not about cardiovascular fitness, which is obviously incredibly important, but I'll do a separate video on this. The health and fitness industry is meant to be about health and fitness, but all too often I feel as if the standards are way up there in terms of what is accepted or what is necessary for your average Joe. You know, the fitness industry tends to be about bigger, stronger, faster, you turn you into an animal, bolder shoulders, all this kind of nonsense. In reality, the standards of what I would say would be acceptable for the average guy are much lower than what you would expect if you just looked at these magazines. And don't forget, when you look at these magazines, most of the people on the covers tend to be a little bit juicy. So this is for average Joes. And what that means is someone who's not taking performance-enhancing drugs, because if we use those average scores, they'd be way off. They'd be up there kind of thing. And it's also not for former athletes or people who have played competitive sports at a very high level, because athletes have this kind of advantage where they have a natural ability, then they naturally slot into things. This is for your average Joe. And it might be someone who's not really trained before. If you're someone who hasn't trained before, this is what I would expect you to be able to achieve. If you are currently training, this is what I would say you should be able to achieve. Thing about these tests as well, and don't hate me for this if you're overweight, is that body weight is a factor in these tests. We'll be using your body weight for the majority to set a target. So naturally, if you're, if 50% of your body weight is fat, then it creates a problem when it comes to achieving results in these tests, because it will, muscle is useful, fat isn't unless you're living in the Arctic. So the lesson is clear. If you struggle to do any kind of chin up or pull up, and it's your fat percentage that is holding you back, the lesson is clear, is that you're going to get a bad score and you need to do something about it. And remember, the whole point of this is that strength standards are there to measure strength for when you need it, not just for looking good and, maybe attracting, a partner. It's about being there for when you need it and maintaining a standard. The weaker you are, the more unfit you are. When disaster strikes, you go down to the bottom of the list. And the people who've got strength and, good fitness, they move up. I remember watching a test. I don't know what it was on. It was on an airplane. And they said, right, okay, everyone sit down on the seats and we're going to do an emergency exit test. It was an experiment. And they said, on the whistle, everyone is going to get up and get off the plane as fast as you can. So they blew the whistle and it was pretty chaotic. People, jostling, trying to get through, trying to get out the doors. And then he said, all right, everyone sit back in your seats. We're going to rerun this test. Now, the first person out of the door is going to get, I don't know whether it was like $1,000 or something, but things got real very quickly. People were clawing after each other. They were fighting. They were like, that's my $1,000. If that's for $1,000, imagine what would happen if you're scrambling for your life. This is where strength standards come in. Because if you can get to these now, this is what I think is a level which is achievable. I guarantee you'd be stronger than most other people on the planet. Because, at the end of the day, gym goers, if people go to the gym, a very small percentage of the population. So, right, let's get on to the tests. This is going to be a little bit different in that I'm going to run the tests literally live. I'm going to do them in one go. I'm going to show you all the different tests. And the tests are what I call the big five. Because these big five cover all of your movements. You have a bench press for your pressing or pushing power. You have a chin up for your overhead pulling power. You have a deadlift, which is your hip hinge. You're picking something up off the floor. You have a back squat, which is obviously your squatting strength, ability to stand up. And then you have a carry, which is going to be the farmer's walk. It's your ability to carry an object for a weight or a period of time. So these are all very practical lifts. Now, first thing I want to say about the list is the exercise selection might not be my first choice of exercise if I was in the gym to do the exercise, for example. Like, you know, you could say that when it comes to the pressing movement, you might argue that a shoulder press would be a more realistic test of pressing ability, because you're much more likely to press than you are lying down on your back on a bench pressing a bar. However, with most of these tests, the tests I'm using have standards across the board that everyone could recognize, and they're also done with pieces of kit that everyone should be able to have access to. All right, that's it. Time to get on with the tests. I challenge you to do these tests. Put your scores in the comments if you have a go at them, and you know, just be honest. And if you're good, great. If you're poor, then it's something to aim for. All right, let's get on with the tests. Obviously, first thing I need to do is actually warm up and get ready to do these tests. If you're doing these, you don't need to do them in this order. You can do them as over the course of a week. Do them as part of your regular workouts. If you want to do them all in one go, like me, then give it a go. All right, so let's get on with the first test. The first test is the bench press. My current weight is about 72 kilos. I don't have any 1 kilo plates on this one, so I've gone with 73. And the test is, I think you should be able to bench press your body weight at least one time, 1 rep. That's an average standard or a good standard to aim for. In my case, to be powerhouse level, I think you should be able to do it about 10 times. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do as we speak. So it's 5, 50 kilos, 60 kilos, 70 kilos, 73. All right, 1 to 10 reps. Next test is body weight chin-ups. So whether you want to do pull-ups or chin-ups, doesn't really matter to me. I'm not bothered which grip you use. It's hands on the bar. 1 rep would be expected with body weight, no weight added, or 10 reps with body weight. Let's get straight in. Full hang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, on to the next one. Also, to think about the chin-up is it's a super important lift. It's being able to take your own body weight, your own life in your hands. If you're hanging off something, you want that ability to be able to pull. Yeah, obviously you might be able to use your legs against something, but I don't know, maybe you're soaked with water and you're trying to pull yourself over the side of a cliff. Who knows? You see these things on YouTube, Instagram all the time, people falling into things and relying on people to rescue them. Maybe you can help yourself. Next lift is the deadlift. Deadlift is much maligned as, oh, it's dangerous, you'll hurt your back. It's a great practical lift. The reason it's often kind of frowned upon is because people don't have great technique, and it's very easy to get the technique wrong. And as a result, because it's a maximal lift and it's kind of the most weight most people would ever lift in the gym is usually with a deadlift. It has a kind of a bigger kind of window for danger. You close that window by having good technique and learning the basics. For the test, it's quite simple. It's 1.5 times body weight. So that's, for me, it's going to be just over 100 kilos for 1 rep. If you think you're at a powerhouse level, then you should be able to do at least double your body weight for 1 rep. So we're going to do singles on this one. It's not a repetition piece. So in this case, my body weight plus 50% is about 112.5 kilos. So we have 103 kilos on there. First off, got to score the number 1. Let's get rid of the shoes, nice and flat. Address the bar, hands over, feet over the center of the bar. When you sit down into it, you're getting closer to the shin. Head up, chest up, deep breath in. All right, that's what's expected. 1.5 times. Next, 2 times. So that's 142 kilos I need on there. All right, so we'll do another warm up with 130. Then I'll go up All right, so that makes 143. Close enough. 1 rep. Done. 2 times. Right, next one is the barbell back squat. You could argue that the back squat is one of the most overrated exercises there is when it comes to lower body development and athletic development. Nevertheless, I still think it's a good lift. I don't really like doing back squats. I have a shoulder injury, which messes up my back, makes me twist. But I'm going to do the test anyway. So standards for this are 1 times body weight for 5 reps or 1.5 times body weight for 1 rep. That's a good standard. I'll do a couple of warm-ups and we'll get on it. So this is 1 times body weight on the bar, 50, 60, 70, 73, a little bit over. 5 reps. Okay. Ooh, it's bad when your leg workout hurts your shoulders more than your legs. All right, so now we'll go on to trying to do 1 rep with 1.5 times body weight, which is, I think it was about 113 kilos. So anytime you're using heavy weights and you're doing singles, don't be embarrassed to be safe and bring in some safety bars and also collars. Most of the garbage you see on YouTube is accidents caused by people not using collars. Close enough. All right, so it's 1 rep. All right, last test, and that is going to be farmer's walks. I'm going to choose dumbbells. You can either do this with a trap bar deadlift. You can do it with farmer's walks handles, but everyone has access to dumbbells, but they're also the hardest thing to hold. So I'm going to do it with dumbbells. What would be expected is dumbbells with 0.30 of your body weight in each hand for about 30 seconds. What I'm going to aim for is, well, I'll do both. I'm going to aim for 0.5 body weight in each hand for 30 seconds. So in this case, 30 seconds, it's going to be with 22.5 kilos, which is 0.3 of my body weight. When it comes to 50%, that's going to be around about 37.5. So I'll do the 22.5 first. I've got my timer down there. When I'm finished, I'll probably go straight into as close as I can get to 37.5. It's 10 seconds. All right, about 5 or so seconds left. By the time I'm back, that's over 30 seconds. Good warm up. Next 37.5. Let's see. We don't have them, but we have 40s. 3, 2, 1. Nope. 30 seconds. It's 5. Got 10 seconds left. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Just starting to get tough, but I can make it back. Okay. That's it. Big 5. Tough tests. But like I've already said, I think these tests are well within the realms of the average Joe. And if you can push on and go to the powerhouse level. And obviously there's a level above that as well. But the strength has to be realistic and has to be maintainable as well. The stronger you get above average, the harder you need to work just to maintain the strength. And it can be fun, it can be challenging, there's no problem with that. And I enjoy it. And to be honest, I'm way stronger than I actually really need to be. But this is my career, this is my job. And from my side of it, I always feel as if I have to be way above average. Because I have to be able to set a standard that I know I can achieve. Because I don't want to say to my client, well, you should be able to do this, and I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I'm not one of these unfit, fat, out of shape trainers who says, do this, do as I say, not do as I do. It's going to be the opposite. So my job is to lead by example. There's some standards for you to attempt that I think are perfectly reasonable for most guys. Remember, I'm 44. I'm not young, but I'm not old. But this is something that you should be able to achieve. So go out and get it, grip it, rip it.